Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, June 8th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I remember my personal responsibility. And by that, it means that sometimes the responsibilities of the world, there are those who want to take on all of the responsibilities of the world and put them on their shoulders, on their mantle, so to speak. And yet we all have our individual missions, our individual plans, our individual soul paths that we came to fulfill. And so when we tune into Scorpio energy, sorry, not Scorpio, Capricorn energy, looking right at Capricorn as I say Scorpio, when we tune into that energy, the Capricorn energy, which is where we have the moon, and we have the moon making some uncomfortable connections today, we want to remember that soul work, that soul purpose energy, so that we can put our focus into that rather than overwhelming by trying to take on so much, too much. I have to tell you that I am a person who has experienced burnout from doing the other. So this is a call to all of us to remember our personal mission energy. I had these two cards right next to each other. It really feels very appropriate. The Master card, to tune into your personal responsibility, how you are called to respond in any given situation according to your self-mastery, according to that soul energy. That is masterwork. It takes time to get there, and very few of us are actually there, but it is something to keep working towards and focus on. The sharing card. We all have gifts. We all have light. We all have purpose. We all have work to share. And again, this feeds right into that mastery energy. So that being said, let's look at the astro. Moon in Capricorn. Moon in Capricorn, tuning us into the shooting pudding that is going on right now in the world. I'm gonna just leave it there. Shooting pudding. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting such an interesting look. I don't dictate what comes through. I just speak the words. Anyway, Moon in Capricorn is connecting today to Neptune, to Pluto, and to Jupiter. So that Neptune connection, if we can begin the day by tuning into spirit, hopefully we can get past any of the shutting pudding. Any of that energy that may be out there, or that you're even, sometimes it's not even others that are shooting us, it's us that shoulds ourselves. We should all over ourselves. It's a big mess. I wish you could see the faces I get. It's us who thinking that we're not doing enough. And yet when we step into that purpose energy, saving an ant is enough. You know what I mean? So it's just about stepping into that alignment. So starting your day by connecting in to spirit can help you connect into that energy. How am I being called to show up and participate today? Now I have the participation card in reverse. This card is the card I call the body, mind, spirit, soul, heart card. And so with it reversed, we all need to check in. What part are we not connecting into? Is it the body? Is it the spirit? Is it the soul? Is it the heart? Which level needs a little connection work? Because this is telling me something's disconnected. And I think for a lot of us, there's definitely some major exhaustion going on after this eclipse. Full moon over in full effect, like I wrote in my written post. What does your body need to find that recalibration at this time? Or what does your heart need to kind of rise again? A lot of the stuff that's going on can be it can be heartening in some ways and disheartening in others. Some humans are like, oh my gosh, and others are like, whew, we still have work to do. So connect in. What part of you is feeling that disconnect? Because we want them all working together as a team. Moon conjunct Pluto. Let's talk about shadows coming up and rising to the surface. Both the moon and Pluto can reveal hidden or shadow energies. The moon brings it on an emotional level. Pluto just brings things that have been buried. shadow work, shadow stuff, challenging energies, energies that we may be ashamed of, energies that we may not be aware of. It can go way, 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 way back. So with these energies enriching each other, connect in to where there may be some energies that need to be addressed. And I'm feeling it like it's going to come through emotionally. It may come through emotionally in power plays, around you, or frustrations. Feels like some level of power stuff going on. Let's see if I have it in my cards. Meh. Not really. Not really feeling it in these cards. Not that it's not there. I'm not feeling it. But just be very aware of it. Let's see, what time is that connection at? That's first thing in the morning. So it may start the morning kind of extra grumpy. So be aware of the grumpies coming in. And control stuff. Power and control stuff. Control stuff is the other layer. But again, taking it to the cards. These two. Be here now and participation in reverse. There's some part of you that's not connected in this moment, and getting that connection going for yourself will help you kind of rebalance, re-level out. Moon will connect to Jupiter next, and that feels a lot better, that Moon-Jupiter energy. But if you continue on that track from the grumpies, the early morning grumpies, Jupiter could expand that energy. So if you find those early morning grumpies, connect into spirit, connect into yourself. Where do you need to feed some energy into yourself today? Where do you need to feed some of your personal responsibility for yourself today? And that'll help with the rebalancing. We then have the moon going void of course. So the void of course moon, there's two ways of looking at it. One is it's the final degrees of any sign as the moon traverses through. And the other way of looking at it is when the moon makes like no more connections before it moves into the next sign. So the moon is not making any more connections after like 11 a.m.-ish Pacific time. And then we have the moon moving into Aquarius around 6 p.m. Pacific time. So kind of a like calm afternoon. Again, this is a really great time to tune in. Work that participation energy to tune into your personal mastery, because the first connection that the moon makes in Aquarius is going to be Saturn. So again, connecting into that purpose, connecting into the responsibility, connecting into how do I want to feed my energy into the future energies. Now, that was not clear. How do I want to feed my energy into the future energies? What we are building into the future. Sorry, had to expand that out a little bit. Moon in Aquarius is probably going to expand any sleep issues that you may have. Tired and wired is a really good way of describing when we have strong air energies. And between the Gemini and the Aquarius stuff, definitely feeling some tired and wired. If you are a sensitive nervous system person, ground in, because neurons are going to start flying. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Enough of this. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. For those of you who were trying to get in touch with me last week, my schedule was just too packed. So I may be getting back to you slowly this week, but feel free to reach out to me again if I have not reached back out to you, because sometimes things get buried in my emails, despite how hard I try not to have that happen. So the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and stay curious. Namaste.